Hi, I'm Keisha Kay, Senior Consultant here at Masterplan. Today we'll be answering some of the most asked and most Googled questions about a certificate of occupancy. A certificate of occupancy, also referred to as a CO, is a city-approved document that must be posted in all commercial spaces, including multifamily developments. This document tells the public your city-approved land use, occupancy, construction type, required parking, and any other notes that the city may place or add onto this document prior to issuance. All commercial land uses require a certificate of occupancy. This begins with multifamily land uses, which are 3 dwelling units or more on a lot, all the way to warehouse land uses, offices, bars, and restaurants. A certificate of occupancy is required prior to occupancy of the building or space. This could be a new construction building or a change of tenant or ownership of an existing structure or a tenant space. A certificate of occupancy is required prior to occupancy of the space, but you are allowed to prepare the space to occupy without a final CO. So every municipality treats temporary certificate of occupancies or TCOs differently. In this example, we'll be referencing the City of Dallas process. So a TCO is issued through the field inspection office, not the Oak Cliff Municipal Center where your permitting happens. So as you're in the field executing construction and going through your inspection process, you may come to a point where you cannot get your full CO, but all life safety has been met. That is when you have the option to apply for a TCO. An example of that would be that you're building a new building and the construction of that building is done, but you have some site work that is not allowing you to final out your landscape final. That would allow you to obtain a TCO, be able to either move in tenants to that building, possibly lease dwelling units if we're talking about a multifamily, while you're still working through those final construction items that have no impact on life safety. This explanation is going to be specific to the City of Dallas. When a certificate of occupancy is applied for at the building inspection office at the Oak Cliff Municipal Center, that goes through plan review. What is issued is a CO inspection request, which allows you to call in for those final inspections to obtain a final CO. When you obtain that approval from the building inspection department, that is not your final CO. That is your CO inspection request, and inspections must be scheduled and approved through the field office to then obtain your final CO. A lot of times people forget about this step and they think they're done, and then the fire marshal comes out and writes them a citation because they don't actually have a final CO. All they have is an approved CO inspection request. And so this is certainly something that Masterplan can help you with and walk you through the process to ensure that you're going all the way from start to finish through all the city processes and not stopping right before the final step. So first we have to talk about the plan review timeline for this CO application. The time for approvals is continually changing and varies based on location and the scope of work that's proposed that is accompanying the CO application. This could be as quick as 3 to 4 weeks or as long as 6 to 8 months. Part of the lengthy review process when applying for a CO can be some of the hurdles and the mistakes that are made. And so some of those things may be improper paperwork, not filled out completely, an incomplete plan submittal based on what you're applying for and what the prior use was for city records. Keep in mind, whenever we're submitting anything to the city, it's not what may be on site or what happened in the past, it's what does the city have record of, and how do we build on that and move forward to what you want to do. You could have all the paperwork, but it could be filled out incorrectly, which once again causes significant delays once we get into the city. You could also have a wrong classification on your land use. So when we classify land uses as a consultant, we're taking the applicable zoning ordinance and classifying you within that. It may not be the best fit, or it may not be what you call your land use, but once again, the city only cares about their applicable ordinances. And so making that determination prior to submittal, and walking and talking the way the city does directly saves time in plan review. Also, the biggest mistake that is most commonly made is not understanding what is required by the city. And this really kind of goes back to my first topic of understanding what the city records show. What is that most recent history, and what are you trying to do, and what's in the in-between, and how does that impact what you're trying to do? Figuring all of that out before we submit directly saves time on the plan review side, which gets you out into the field and into inspections that much quicker, so you can finally get your final CO. Yes, the city, all municipalities, but once again specific to the city of Dallas, yes, they can revoke your certificate of occupancy. And it can be for a multitude of reasons. It can be that the city made an error. It can be that the tenant is operating illegally. Something is changed from their original application, but the city has the authority, and there's an ordinance in place that gives them the jurisdiction to revoke your CO. So regardless of where you're at in the process, one of our responsibilities is to ensure that that doesn't happen. So what's going on site? What do you want to do? What do the city records show to ensure that you're fully compliant, whether you're already occupying a space or you're wanting to occupy a space? And having those conversations and talking through the risks and the benefits of what you want to do and making sure that that's achievable. You cannot formally occupy a commercial structure without an approved CO being issued from the city inspection office. If you have any questions about permits, zoning, or land use, leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.